Tokyo, Japon, le 11 février 1990. Mike Tyson est le boxeur le plus redouté de la planète. 37 combats, 37 victoires, 25 par KO avant la fin du 3e round. Champion du monde incontesté des poids lourds depuis 4 ans. En face de lui ce soir, James Buster Douglas, un combattant que personne ne prend au sérieux. 29 victoires, 4 défaites. Un boxeur correct sans plus. Les bookmakers donnent Tyson favori à 42 contre 1. C'est le ratio qu'on donne à quelqu'un qui n'a aucune chance. Ce soir-là, Buster Douglas va faire quelque chose que personne ne croyait possible. Il va mettre fin au mythe Tyson. 23 jours avant le combat, la mère de Buster Douglas est morte d'une attaque cérébrale. Sa mère qui lui avait dit, quelques semaines avant, qu'il allait battre Tyson. Qui le croyait vraiment, elle seule. Douglas arrive à Tokyo dans un état que son équipe ne comprend pas bien. Il n'est pas brisé. Il est calme. Concentré d'une façon inhabituelle. Comme si ce combat était devenu autre chose qu'un combat. Il s'entraîne sérieusement. Il regarde les vidéos de Tyson pendant des heures. Il identifie quelque chose que d'autres n'avaient pas vu. Tyson baisse légèrement la garde après son jab droit. Une fraction de seconde. Mais suffisante. Douglas décide de baser tout son plan sur cette ouverture. Dès la première cloche, Douglas fait ce que personne n'avait fait contre Tyson. Il utilise sa portée. Douglas mesure 1,89 m. Il a 10 cm de plus que Tyson, et ce soir, il s'en sert. Il tient Tyson à distance avec son jab, l'empêche d'entrer dans sa zone. Tyson presse, il avance. Il cherche l'ouverture pour placer son uppercut gauche, le coup qui a mis fin à tant de carrière. Douglas recule, se déplace et frappe, encore et encore. Ses jabs atterrissaient sur le visage de Tyson avec une régularité que le champion n'avait pas connue depuis longtemps.
With the exception of Tony Tucker, who might win and you believe things that you're hoping for. But honestly speaking, Buster looks pretty good in the early going here of this, whether he can sustain this. Of course, Mike hasn't tagged him yet with a big blow. Look at them as they exchange here in round one. Oh, that right hand! Larry Rosadio of the United States, Ken Morita of the U.S., and Mr. Uchiha from Japan here. Mike will try to get in and land that big right hand in half, 11 and a half pounds heavier than is Mike Tyson. Coming up to the closing seconds of this, the first one. Wow! With the right hand is Buster Douglas. Warning comes about the heads coming together. You saw Mike's head come right in the cheek there of Buster Douglas. You see the way Mike dips down. And Judge, we're actually talking about Octavio Miran. Oh, an uppercut got through that time by Buster. Look at this, Buster landing some shots here for Mike Tyson. Oh, there's the left hook that got through. That's the first real telling blow by Mike Tyson. And now let's see if Buster can hang on and keep him off. Mike, there's the ability of Buster Douglas again. You have to say, in all the fights and all the world telecasts we've done that have involved the great champions from the guys that are around for a while is how they face adversity. And Mike has got to rebound from this because certainly Buster's the idea that Douglas is saying, hey, I can beat Tyson. He's not so tough. And when a fighter believes in himself, left eye, Buster a little abrasion by his left eye. Wow, with the left hand is Buster Douglas. Buster, he did in 7 and 8 in his history. When he's got fatigue, he can sustain through the 10th round. Oh, right hand landed as the referee was breaking them. Mike misses the uppercut with the ability to tie Mike's hands up. For some reason, Mike just doesn't look as aggressive and menacing as I've seen him in so many other fights. But all that can change with one big shot. This is the biggest night of his life. Midway through the second round, a place that many of us thought we might not see. Hey, there's a grazing right hand gets through. The left hand by Mike Tyson. That one he kind of shoots from the hip and misses the left hand. And notice Buster doing a pretty good job getting his hand landed that time. Buster's, if 2, 3, or 4 is a question mark, it's come very easy for him so far. Now he's got a man who's standing up to him. His mind is willing, are his legs still there? Buster has got the confidence of perhaps, you know, you go back to when Leon Spinks fought Muhammad. Buster down, as you know, is going to be, can he back Mike off? Can he keep that left going? there's a right hand that gets through. You've seen it so many times before. I still have to say to this point, Buster hanging in there pretty good. Now he ties him up. Octavio Moran, the third man in the ring. His name is actually Octavio Moran Sanchez. He goes by the last name. Mike never used to be hit as much as he's been hitting this fight. Oh, big one! The way the fight's going to this point, you at least have to begin thinking the possibility of an upset, because I have Buster considerably outside of Buster Douglas's body coming up to the closing seconds of the fifth, and this is certainly Buster Douglas's round. All right!
À la fin du troisième round, le visage de Tyson commence à enfler sous l'œil gauche. Les commentateurs le remarquent, mais personne n'y croit encore. Tyson n'arrive pas à entrer, Douglas contrôle la distance, contre-attaque et prend les rounds un par un. Ce qui surprend tout le monde, c'est la sérénité de Douglas. Il ne célèbre pas quand il touche. Il ne se laisse pas emporter, il boxe simplement. Tyson essaie de changer au cinquième round. Il attaque le corps, cherche à fatiguer Douglas sur les cordes. Douglas encaisse, se dégage, répond. Au septième round, l'œil gauche de Tyson est presque fermé. Son équipe lui applique de la glace entre les rounds. Ce n'est plus un combat ordinaire. Quelque chose est en train de basculer. Dans les tribunes, personne ne parle. Tout le monde regarde.
Even in the second round in favor of Buster Douglas. See Mike much more aggressive, but again, strange thing in my mind, I'm saying to myself, hey, is Mike mentally prepared to go the distance with Tyrell Biggs, that Mike, when he decides to pick up the pace, can do it? From Buster. But no matter what the story is, you never expected it to be in the 8th round of this heavyweight championship fight. Back together in the late portion here. Grazing left hand, chopping right, misses. Uppercut landed by Mike Tyson. That's one of the few uppercuts he's landed in the fight. A little bit of swelling and puffiness by that left eye. See the jab followed by the right hand. They tell me again, interesting information that Buster Douglas has landed over 50 punches and Tyson's landed only 16. They've gone any distance at all, like against Jose Ribalta that went 10 rounds. And, I suppose you could talk about Tokyo, Japan. I'm Bob Sheridan. You're watching the heavyweight championship of the world. Mike Tyson throwing a little bit more leather here now in the early going of the 8th round. That this is his night and all of that sort of stuff. But, of course, one big shot from Mike Tyson can end all that speculation. And Mike looks like does that hop, skip, and a jump as the villain trying to get those arms free. Bangs the body back upstairs to the head. Buster doing just about everything right, but Mike landed that, quite honestly, to get through the first round, and that's why Don King has brought this show on the road. Look at Buster landing some shots here. Now, he hasn't backed Mike up for that all night. Oh, that's a nice uppercut that side.
Tyson place enfin son uppercut. Douglas touche le sol. Pour la première fois du combat, c'est lui qui est par terre. L'arbitre commence à compter. Tyson attend dans un coin, certain que c'est terminé. C'est ce qui arrive toujours quand il met quelqu'un au sol. Douglas prend le temps du compte. Il se relève à 9. La cloche sonne quelques secondes plus tard. Douglas retourne dans son coin. Son regard est clair. Ce n'est pas terminé.
We're past the midway point in round 9, and I expected Mike. Look at this! Look at Buster coming back! Did he buckle the lights of Mike? Landed by James Buster Douglas. Not intimidated at all. Now, you see what I mean about backing him off? This is the first guy I've seen that's been able to do this, but Buster's been able to gobble him up. See, that one just off. Look at this. Buster not intimidated. He wants to keep it going. Mike, actually, his legs, he's noticed his legs in these wide shots. And the fact of the matter is, it's Buster that's making it the fight. Look at these shots landed by Buster Douglas. And if Buster was out of gas in the early going of this round, he's here. I think Mike probably having his best round of the fight to this point. Nice shot inside. And now you get the shot him again. Buster fights back strongly, landing some big shots. And now he can't get careless. Look at this. Who would ever have expected this?
Au 9e round, Douglas repart comme avant. Il remet son jab, il reprend le contrôle, il touche Tyson encore et encore. Tyson accuse les coups d'une façon visible. Ses jambes ne sont plus aussi vives, il cherche l'ouverture, il ne la trouve pas.
Mike continues to stay flat-footed, not showing a lot of boxing skills. We haven't seen any uppercuts from Mike. We haven't seen... How dangerous can he be? I don't know. But I'll tell you one thing. There's the second uppercut we see by Mike Tyson inside. Busting hand, but Mike takes it on the gloves, and he backs off Mike again with the left. While with the right hand is Buster. Together is Buster landing these... Oh, nice uppercut by Buster Douglas. Look at this. He's knocked Mike Tyson down.
Round 10. Douglas pousse Tyson dans les cordes et place une combinaison propre. Uppercut droit, crochet gauche, droit au visage. Tyson tombe, il essaie de se relever. Il ne retrouve pas l'équilibre. L'arbitre compte jusqu'à 10. Tyson ne se relève pas. James Buster Douglas est champion du monde. L'équipe de Tyson cherche une explication. Ils évoquent une grippe qu'il avait eue avant le combat. Ils contestent le compte de l'arbitre au 8e round, qui aurait mis trop de temps à commencer. Deux organisations mondiales de boxe annoncent qu'elles ne reconnaissent pas le résultat. La pression publique est telle qu'elles reviennent sur leur décision 2 jours après. Douglas est reconnu champion. Ce soir-là, il a été le meilleur boxeur du monde. Le seul qui soit arrivé avec un plan contre Tyson et qui l'ait tenu jusqu'au bout. Tyson lui-même le dira des années plus tard. Douglas était prêt. Lui ne l'était pas. Ce soir-là, le meilleur a gagné. Pensez-vous que Tyson aurait pu changer le résultat avec une meilleure préparation ? Dites-le en commentaire. La semaine prochaine, je vous raconte l'histoire d'un autre combat que personne n'avait prévu. Abonnez-vous pour ne pas rater ça.